There's a reason why Alice in Chains' Nutshell is popping off on the internet right now. Let's find out why. And I'm not doing any cuts or zooms or scrapes or bangs or booms or whatever you are conditioned to, because in the 90s, when Lane's well-documented heroin habit had, started to pinnacle. I don't know if it was pinnacle right around the time. We'll have to look back at the time. But he wrote this song, and this is sort of the epitome of him at the moment. Let's see. Fame, you were selling out, and that was evil. To make money was evil. We were spiritual purists looking for a way forward. And he was right at the front. And if you hang out today, we'll be able to jam along with this riff, which I've already kind of pre-done. And without further ado, no, shoot, I'll have to do it again. So to use the flashback pedal, you hear me frigging around with this. I've never had this actually hooked up. This is a Taylor 420. It's a beautiful guitar. I've never had this sumbitch tuned up or hooked up to my boogie. Certainly not to my boogie, my electronic guitar ramp. I would never do that. But if you're at a low volume, a speaking volume, you can create these really cool loop situations with the flashback, as we'll find out soon enough. But I wanted to talk to you about the chords in the song, because we're talking about this in standard tuning. We're not dropping down to E flat to get all of that sort of like deep, dark, that, you know what I'm talking about, that gravitas of the 90s, mid-90s. But we'll just stay in standard tuning for the sake of ease of use. What this is intended to do is remind us of what the 90s felt like. We're trying to bring it back a little bit and appreciate. I guess it's an appreciation session as much as it is anything else. So we're starting with the E minor, which we did in the E minor chord rabbit hole last week. And we've got an extension we throw on right away. It's not E minor for long. We're adding a minor 7 and thinking like Pink Floyd's delicate, a lot of acoustic guitar in Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. There was all over the place, but it's a really cool E minor suspended sound. E, B, E, G, and then D, and then G on the top. Oh, Oasis, that's ringing a bell. I would also encourage you to play that C chord. That C add 9 is just an amazing sound on the guitar. I mean, it's unreal. Like, you're taking the C chord that we all learned to begin with. If you were like me, you learned this one, G, C, and then G7, and then C to practice the perfect authentic cadences that the Western world builds into a resolution, right? It just takes us all over the place, as you're going to find in this solo vamp that we're going to jam on for a little bit, okay? So we've got E minor 9, E minor, not 9. I guess it sounds like there's a 9 in there to me earlier this morning, playing along with the YouTube video, which is a new one for me. But it's cool. And we got C. So we're going to be using, what are we going to be using? Like, maybe E blues scale, if you know that one, E minor pentatonic. I guess it's in there. We've covered it on the channel other times, I think. But if we haven't, and you'd like to see more about the fundamentals of E minor pentatonic, just let me know. E minor pentatonic also exists up here. bit of positional playing. On position 7, we're using 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then we're stopping at the root note, which is obviously 3, because 1 was, 1, 4 was the flatted 3, the finger 1 was the 4, the finger 3 was the 5, finger 1 was flatted 7, and the finger 3 is a 1. If you can dig that, So there's that, 9 and, minor 7. There's a lot of stuff going on here. We could, of course, play the E minor pentatonic an octave higher on frets 12 and 15 and 14 and all that stuff. That's a really cool place to be. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of the song. So we've got a review of the chords, and we got a review of the scale patterns to use. Maybe as we jam along, I'll explain a few more things, okay? And that could be a reason to just kind of stick around for a little bit or check back in, Poland Spring. We flush our toilets with that up here. That's the running gag anyway. How you doing today, anyway? Everything going well? Must be if you have your guitar in hands and we're working together on this. So let's take a look at the rhythm. One, two, three, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. That would be right if it was 1, but it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So there's a truncated measure in the end of that that phrase, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so there's when we're coming off that C, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Don't forget to get back to that 1 and 2 and 3. We got to feel that as 1 on the next E minor. So let's play let's go ahead and play the riff or the rhythmic pattern, and then we'll jump in with a little solo action, a little improv action. But remember, it's really chill, and we're trying to put ourselves, listen to the song a few times, and then come back to this. Listen to the song, absorb the song. I'll share the link in the description. Absorb it, 2 or 3 times. It's what we do, is we sort of like drink it in. We study the bass guitar part, the kick drum part, and it's amazing. The recording, if you have a good set of headphones, the recording volume and the production volume on this, the reproduction of this audio track on YouTube is just awesome. So check it out if you can. Absorb it, and then come back to this. Right now I'm going to set the loop. I've got to play it through a couple times and get my foot all drived in with the button on the switch. Here's the beginning. Let's see if we can catch it at the end. Maybe we got it. Close enough. I really like to focus on being able to play the melody. I believe there's no mistake, right? It's a matter of, are you prepared to go where you're headed? And if you break your focus just for that moment, you're wiped out. But as long as we're paying attention, and it's definitely a discipline, and they were tapped into something here that allowed, it was like Miles Davis blowing his horn. He'd play, the 4 over the 1 chord, and it was sort of the wrong note, but he's like, no, that's the right note right there. So all I'm doing is acting like sort of a dub, but I'm really trying to be confident. And Pat Metheny talks about the simple thing about being a great melodic guitar player is just be confident. And what does confidence come from? Where does it come from? You can't just like one day switch on the confident button, can you? It took me years to become confident in my playing, and I think the only way I did it was to practice playing. With the record, as if I was the 4th or 5th person in the band that they didn't hire for the session. And then it takes hours of really boring, horrible stuff that we don't ever want to do. Practicing for people who suck, man. That's the guitar. That's a quote from the guitarist of the really famous sort of very popular touring Elton John tribute band. I don't know exactly what you call it. I have a feeling they're doing so well at what they do, they're manifesting something other than a tribute, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But they're called Yellow Brick Road. You should check it out. The guitar player coined that. The first time I ever heard of practicing for people who suck was from him, the guitar player for that band. So thanks, Mike. So we could also use the C major arpeggio. But when we get to E minor, we have to use the E minor and C major arpeggios, right? And they work so well together melodically because the only note that's different between the two, we've got a C and an E and a G in the C chord, and then an E, G, and a B and an E minor chord, so there's only one note difference. And it's like, no wonder this is such a cool chord progression. So we could go on forever and ever with this, but I hope you get a chance to kind of play along as a second guitar player to what I'm up to, right? It's such a great experience just to be able to play alongside someone and then I'm going to give you some time now, and I don't know how many people stick around for this, stuff, shit or not, but it's there for you if you want to check it out. So I'm just going to keep playing along. I'm going to give a sort of like reinforce this guitar line, and you can play a single note solo, and I'll just kind of hang out with you for a minute. And the best thing to do would be to listen on your end, and then just kind of observe and play along and communicate with what's happening. And I'm out. You're having fun. Sounds good. Well, that's it. I think that's about where our travels are going to end today. And if you stuck around, I really appreciate it. It's a great session whether you're into, Pacific Northwestern music in the 90s, or if you're into country or rock or blues or, Indian, or whatever genre you're into, rockabilly, this has got some stuff in it that is worth examining because it opens the door for the playground. And I think that's why Apples in Chain, Alice in Chain, their Nutshell song is just smoking hot and still relevant after all these years. So we talked about this, and I think the idea is I'm going to volume pan out. Oh, I can't do that because I put the pedal after the volume pedal. So when you're setting up your pedals, you got to pay attention to that. But thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to just stop talking, and I guess I'll see you next time. Like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff, and ding the bell, because you definitely want to be around for next opportunities for practice. If you can make the time, I'll be there. Okay, I'll be there. All right. Until next time, happy picking.